today?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Yes, alright. So today I wanted to talk about your relationships at home.
Okay.
Alright, more precisely. Okay, so there are a lot of times where like your feelings can be traced back to a certain relationship that you have with somebody in particular.
Okay.
Like for instance, a good relationship might make you feel happy, might make you feel positive in general about everything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then whereas bad relationships, you know, the total opposite, they can make you feel bad, unwanted, ignored, you know, all these negative feelings, you know?
Right, yeah.
So, do you have a relationship and with someone that you think you would like to talk about today?
Yeah, I think I'll talk about my best friend and I.
That sounds awesome.
Okay.
Alright. So, you and I, for instance, we have a good relationship.
Yeah, it's true.
So, with that, I want to be able to be honest and give you feedback about what I see in you
Okay.
during your session and as you're speaking.
Oh, okay. So like what I'm doing and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. Okay. So where do I don't know where to begin.
Well, tell me, like, what relationship would you like to talk about? Like,
Okay, so I guess my best friend, Valerie. She and I, we grew up together. We've been best friends for like 22 years.
it's a long time.
Yeah. So we're both 25 now.
You don't look it.
Oh, thank you. We're both 25, and she and I, like, we were next door neighbors, and we grew up in elementary school, and I mean everything together. So like up until age 22, we inseparable, like absolutely inseparable.
That sounds really, really amazing.
Yeah, I mean it was great, absolutely great. And like she's like my sister. But at 22, we had like an incident with her.
Oh.
Like she got into like pretty much like a bad situation with her.
Bad situation?
Yeah, like she got into an accident and like
How did that happen?
like her ex-boyfriend, he was drunk and he ran her foot over.
That sounds painful.
It
Was
was
this
bad.
accidental?
Yeah, I mean he was drunk.
Oh.
And she was trying to get him to not drive, and he got in the car anyway. She ran after him, and he ran her over by backing up, and she ended up in the hospital. And I mean, it was bad. And she, like, I was the only person there to take care of her and everything. And immediately, like, as soon as it happened, I was the first person that she called, and I went there at 4 in the morning, and I took care of all the paperwork and the talking to the doctors and you know, all that stuff. And like, yeah, I mean I just pretty much took care of everything for her at that point. And even though she told me not to tell her family initially, like
you told them eventually.
Eventually I did, yeah. Like a couple hours later, and they all came to the hospital too. And you know, of course they were upset. And they asked me why I didn't say anything, and I said, you know, I just wanted to get her into the operating room as quickly as possible, because you know she had it was really bad. Like she couldn't walk for a year, and she wasn't able to like. She was wheelchair bound for 6 months. She couldn't walk without crutches for 6 months. Then for a year she wasn't allowed to drive. So.
Terrible.
Yeah, and so she and I we just got back to talking again because we stopped talking because I criticized her ex-boyfriend for doing what he did.
I noticed as you're saying that you keep fiddling with your bracelet. Is it because you have a certain problem with her relationship or
yeah, I mean I hate him. 100%. I mean, I've never hated a person in my life, and I
Hate
hate
is
him.
such a strong word.
Yeah,
You
I
must
hate
have
him.
a good reason as to why.
He just was a jerk, just 100% a jerk to her. I mean, he treated her he treated her poorly. He would, he just changed her into this completely different person, and like the person that I knew growing up, like disappeared because of him, and it was so bad. But
you could say that he was a bad influence.
yeah, 100%. I mean, he was just a bad person. And he made a lot of bad decisions, and he did a lot of bad things, and then she would, because she loved him, she would cover up for him and stuff, and try to help him when he would get in trouble with the law, and it was just like, this is like, it's not who she was. Like, that's not who she was, and that's who she became, and
Seem frustrated about it based
Yeah.
on how you
yeah.
held your arms out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I said that, that he was a bad person. I didn't support him. Her family was filing charges against him, and I was totally in support of it, and she got mad at me for not supporting him, and she said that I was a bad friend. And,
So did you try to explain to her as to your reasons
Yeah.
why?
yeah, and she said it out of anger, I'm sure, but that hurt a lot. That cut me, because I mean, I remember that day. I specifically went there that day to give her my schedule for the week, so that the times that she needed to go to physical therapy and things like that, I could take her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that she would know when I would be able to take her to physical therapy. And then that conversation, it ended with her calling me a bad friend and telling me all the things that she secretly thought about me, and all the things that she had been keeping inside her for all those years. And
That sounds like that was tough for you.
it broke my heart. That was possibly the worst kind of pain that I've felt from another person. I think I would put that in like my top 3.
So
And yeah, it was rough. And then just recently, like a couple months ago, she reached out to me, and like, I don't know.
I mean, well, okay. So she really acted really bad, like a really bad friend. Like it wasn't fair that she said all those things to you. But perhaps she might have thought that maybe they weren't good reasons, but she had her reasons for saying all those mean and hurtful things to you. Now, okay, so let's imagine that you were her. Imagine that you were your best friend. What would you feel if, you saw your supportive friend trying to help you out, but
I mean, when I was telling her that that he was bad for her and stuff like that, I mean, she was laying down, and I mean, she was still recovering. She'd just gotten out of the hospital. So, I mean, I'm sure that what she was feeling was that, like, why are you saying this to me right now? Like, why can't you just pretend everything is okay for right now? Because she was so hurt. I mean, she's physically, and I guess, maybe she just got angry and just wanted to say that.
you think she had a lot of things going on besides the pain, and then
Yeah, emotionally, I'm sure, too. because, I
imagine
mean,
her family.
Yeah, I mean, and he got arrested for doing what he did, and I mean, she was heartbroken about that, too, and that he was gonna get deported and all this stuff, and I mean, yeah, I'm sure she felt justified in saying what she did, but it didn't make it hurt any less. Like, even considering, like, I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, all like, for what she said.
Mhm.
Because I mean that's what I've always done is I've always given her the benefit of the doubt and you know like oh Valerie's perfect, she would never mean this that or the other. But when she said those things it was just like it just hit me really hard because I was like I can't believe you thought all these things about me.
Yes, I bet, because it's coming from a really close friend of yours that you would have never thought that they would think these negative thoughts.
Yeah.
Yes, I can imagine that feels really, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
And so, I mean, she reached out to me earlier this year and I went, like, it was like a relief in a way that like, cause we hadn't talked for like 2 years. Like, yeah, 2-3 years or so.
So you guys are trying to improve your friendship.
Yeah.
You think it'll be the same?
No. That's what's bothering me is she's not with him anymore. I mean, she chose on her own to leave him and everything like that, and she's with somebody else and she's happier and she's healthy and all these things, but it's like I feel a lot of anxiety around her.
Does she notice how you feel?
I don't know, because we've only hung out twice since we've like gotten back together.
And how does she act when she's with you?
Kind of like,
is it the same as before? Oh, well, you know, we're close, or let's pretend that never happened, let's start fresh, or
it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like
is it tense, or do you feel like some tension going on between you two when you guys are together?
I feel like we're both faking it.
What makes you think that?
Like we're trying to go back to the way that things were. I feel like
pretend that never happened.
Right, but we did talk about that. We did talk about
it?
we did talk about that, and I did tell her how I felt, and she, you know, she was apologetic, and she said, you know, I thought you would never want to talk to me again, and I would have totally understood if you didn't want to talk to me, and I told her, you know, that's not, I always wanted to reach back out to her, but I never did because I was afraid of opening myself up to her again and then having it thrown in my face again. So I think that's a lot of why I feel a lot of anxiety around her, is I'm kind of afraid to have her that close to me again.
So you're afraid of that you're going to get hurt by her again eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you tell me that you don't see her that often.
No.
Does she live nearby?
Yeah, she lives like right up the street.
Right up the street?
Yeah, she used to live next door to me, but she moved a few years back, like about 10 years ago, and she lives up the street now. But yeah, I mean, she's less than like 5 minutes away, but
yet you guys don't see each other too often.
No.
Would you like to start afresh and give it a try?
I mean, I do, and I would. I just, like, I feel like I keep on making excuses for why I don't want to see her. Like, I do want to see her, but at the same time I don't. Because I don't know, it's different now.
No, of course it's different.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing can ever be the same after saying all those hurtful things. I completely understand.
Yeah.
But
it's like I want to improve the relationship though. Like I want to have that relationship with her, but I don't know how to do it.
So what I'm gonna have you do for your homework assignment is, I see that you do want to have a close relationship again with your friend. You just don't know how. So what I'm gonna have you do is like try to make time to spend time with her at least once a week. You think you could do that?
I can try.
You can try. I mean, it doesn't have to be like, oh well, let's spend the entire day together. You know?
I know. Like just grab dinner or something like that.
Yeah, or like take a walk down the park or anything you like. You know.
Yeah.
Any hobbies you have in common, maybe you could do that.
Okay.
Yes. Do you have any specific
We do like to go to this one Mexican restaurant, so that's like right nearby.
That
so.
sounds really good.
Yeah, so I guess I'll try and make like maybe not this week, but maybe next week I'll try.
Okay, I mean, as long as you get that homework completed before our next meeting together.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
That way you
100%.
can tell me how it goes.
Yeah, probably like Monday. I think maybe Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, so like you can make time, like, start with whenever you can, and then try to make it so that it's a weekly thing.
Okay.
Like maybe spend like a couple of hours with her so you can catch up. Oh, like what did you two do like throughout the week? Just catch up on life.
Okay.
And then try to form that bond that you guys once had.
Okay.
It will happen. It'll just take time.
Yeah.
And I will help you with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, I think I can do that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So let me know how it goes.
Okay, I will. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
All right.
Bye.